Hi, how are you? My name is Professor Aftab Khan, and I'm teaching you thesis seminar. And we have so many meetings in the past weeks, and in the continuation of those meetings or those lectures which we already discussed. Today we're gonna discuss about the thesis structure, and this is a very good chapter in my point of view regarding to learn thesis or a research work in a best comprehensive manner. Okay, so as we discussed, we will give a little bit a recap regarding the title page. Okay, the title always we remember, which we already discussed, is that earlier we already discussed earlier in the previous week that the title cannot be starts with a cautionary sentence. Okay, the title always can. What are the cautionary sentence? What, where, was, would, is, am, are, if. So these are the cautionary sentences, and at the end of the sentence, a question mark will come. So we will never use a sentence in our title which starts with the cautionary words. Okay, because we have this protocol, we have this structure, and we have this is our rule and guidelines, and we have to follow this. Okay, this is the thing which we already discussed this, and we must have an effective title. And how we will make an effective title? The effective title we can make with the help of the effective problem finding. If there is an effective problem, for example, coronavirus, nowadays this is an effective subject. All world, this subject is very hot. So this is an effective title. I'm not saying this that you will write a research on coronavirus, no, but those problems which in today's world is happening day by day, you can make a title on it and justify this with the help of your communication skills and with the help of your writing thesis skills. Okay, so that was the first thing which we already discussed this in our previous sections, in our previous lectures. The second one is the abstract. Okay, and what is what is abstract is, that first we have to know. If we are writing an abstract and people don't know what is the meaning of abstract is, so I think this is complete nonsense. Okay, so always be remember, my dear students, abstract means summary. Summary means the central idea. Central idea means the main points we want to discuss in our thesis. This is known as the abstract. So abstract in easy sense, summary. Summary, the central idea, which is you can say this, that the points, the main points or the main essence which we gonna discuss in our we can say this, that which we gonna discuss in our thesis. Okay, so what is a good abstract is, what is the structure of an abstract, of a good abstract? It is, now I am discussing it with you. Always be remember, a good abstract explains in one line why the paper is important. It then goes on to give a summary of major results, preferably couched in number with error limits. The final sentence explains major implications of your work. Okay, a good abstract is concise. Concise means brief. If you want to write a good abstract, it must be concise, brief. Brief means short, not long. I'm not saying you that you can write an abstract which is 1000 pages or 4000. No, it's not possible. Abstract hardly 1 page or 2 page or 3 page or not more than this. Okay, so it must be concise, it must be short, it must be specific. Okay, so this is a very important thing in my point of view. So you should take a special note on the number of pages, and it must be and the length should be of 1 to 2 paragraphs, approximately 400 words. In my point of view, a good abstract is 1 to 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs are enough. Okay, and approximately 400 words. That's it. In my if I am writing a research on in my thesis when I was a student, so I was writing just 1 page or 2 paragraphs or 400 words, not more than this. Okay, so be specific, be short, be concise, not comprehensive. Concise. Comprehensive means larger manner. Concise means shorter, brief. This is the meaning of concise. Okay, so abstract generally do not have citations. In the abstract, never use citations. And what are the citations? References, which we already discussed this in our previous lectures. So in the abstract, you will never give citations. Okay, and abstract generally don't have citations, and information in title should not be repeated. Okay, you should not repeat your information again and again. You cannot repeat your words again and again. If you will read your words again and again, it will be a stereotype. A stereotype means that a thing which you already discussed, this. For example, coronavirus in Pakistan or coronavirus in South Korea. Again, I'm writing these sentences. So this is not good. Okay, one time I have written this coronavirus in the problems occurred by the coronavirus in the economic system in South Korea. One line, okay, but again and again I'm repeating the same sentences. This is not justifiable. Okay, so this is a very important thing. So the length of the lecture is already discussed, 1 to 2 paragraphs and 400 words. Abstract should be don't have citations, no references, no repetitions of words. Be explicit. Explicit means openly, but and briefly. Okay, use numbers where appropriate. If you want to use any numbers where suitable, you can use it, no problem, no restriction on it. Okay, answers to these questions should be found in the abstract. And what are the answers? What do you do in this research? What do you want to say? Okay, what did you do it? What questions were you trying to answer? What are the questions of your research which you found to find out? What are the solutions of the problem which you want to find? What are the problems and the solutions of the problem? Okay, what did you learn? State major results. What is the method of your research work? The method, of course, maybe it's a quantitative or a qualitative, but you are the law students or the business students, so you can write. Most of the law researches are based on the qualitative side, as we already discussed. And qualitative side, and what is the meaning of this? No numbers involved in this, only speculations involved in it. And quantitative side, numbers, statistical data, mathematics, econometrics, okay, involved in this side. Okay, so why does it matter? Point out at least one significant implications. So what do you want to learn? What have you learned in this? What is the method? In your abstract, you have to write what did you do, what questions you are trying to ask, and what are the solutions of the problems, and blah blah blah. These are the things which you are going to discuss in your table, in your abstract. Okay, we also discuss the table of contents. The table of contents will come in the very first page after the title page. Okay, the very first page is the title page. After the title page, there will be a table of contents, and after the table of content page, abstract. So in the table of contents, what you will do, list all the headings and the subheadings with page numbers. Indent subheadings, it will look something which is just like a preface of the book. Open any book, you will find a book, okay, and there will be a preface. Preface means that this is the first thing which you will find out in the book. Okay, in the book there is a table of the contents, and in the table of the contents you will see many things basically which has some headings or subheadings. Okay, so you have to give them in a proper manner or in the best manner, best presentable manner. Okay, and the font size is very important. Font size not more than 14 or 12. Okay, and Time Roman or Calibri font you can use it, but those fonts which do not have any professional look, you will never use it. If you will use it, then you can lose it as well. Okay, so please make sure of your font, headings of fonts, font size, font style must be Time Roman, Calibri font, okay, Vardhana, okay. So these are the things you have to cover up in your and everything must be professional format, belongs with the professional format. Otherwise, this will not be a successful research in my point of view. So the presentation of your font is very important. Okay, so the presentation of your font size is very important. And then the list of the tables, what are the tables, charts, figures which you want to add up, you can add it. The last page number of all tables, the list should include a short title for each table but not the whole caption. Okay, a short title in the headings, introduction only. You cannot say introduction of the whole research or this is our title. No, introduction, first title, introduction, and then the subheading, and then abstract, and then the subheading. Okay, and then the main body or the introduction, and then the subheadings. Okay, just like this. Okay, so the first page was the title page, the second page was the table of contents, the third page was the abstract, the fourth element is the introduction. So what the introduction is and how to write an introduction or the main body. You know, in some countries, in United States, United Kingdom, there was a main body, but here in South Korea, we can say this is an introduction. Okay, introduction and main body is same, according to the South Korean research. So every countries, these headings are different, but the main essence of the words are same. Okay, so introduction or the methods, or sorry, no, not the methods, introduction and the main body is same. So the fourth heading or the fourth element must be introduction. How to write, but the question is that how to write an effective introduction. This is a very important thing. Okay, you cannot write a good introduction until you know what the body of the paper says. It considers writing the introductory sections after you have completed the rest of the paper rather than before. Be sure to include a hook at the beginning of the introduction. This is a statement of something insufficiently interesting to motivate your reader to read the rest of the paper. It is an important, interesting scientific problem that your paper either solves or addresses. You should draw the reader in and make them want to read the rest of the paper. Your main body must be effective. Okay, your introduction must be effective, which creates an interest towards the reader. Okay, so the reader reads it with interesting manner. This is a very important thing. If you write an introduction and there will be no interest generation things or lines are there, nobody will take care of your research. Okay, so your introduction must be effective. Okay, and in the next paragraph of the introduction should cite previous research in this area. For example, you must give the footnotes or the endnotes or the references in the reference column, which is the last page of your research. Always be remember, again I am informing you or I am warning you that if somebody wants to copy your research, it will not be accepted until and unless if you are copying any source, you must give a proper referencing. Otherwise your research will be null and void. Your research will be cancelled, because I have to check your research in the Turnitin software or the plagiarism software, and or the copy killer within seconds, within minutes it will be appear. So if you are copying any material, you must give it in the footnotes and notes or in the reference section, otherwise it will not be accepted, your research will not be accepted. Okay, so this is a very very important thing in my point of view, and it's a very interesting, you must give some important and interesting scientific problems that your paper either solve or addresses. Okay, you should draw some charts, some tables, good tables, but it doesn't make sense that, for example, if you are giving the table and it will not make any sense, this is not good. Justifiable table, justifiable arguments, you must give it in a proper manner. Okay, and what else belongs in the introductory section of your paper? A statement of the goal of the paper, why the paper was undertaken. These are the things you must keep this in your mind while writing an introduction. Okay, so what are the things? The first thing is the statement of goal. Or the goal means targets. What you want to target your problems. What is the objectives of your research? What is the purpose of your research? This is a very important thing. Why the study was undertaken or why the paper was written. Do not repeat the abstract. Okay, this is a common mistake what students are doing. Students are repeating the abstract in the introduction column. Always be remember, if you will write the abstract, if you will write the same abstract, if you are repeating the words which are or the lines which are in the abstract in your introduction, this is a nonsense thing, because it's already there. Why you are repeating your conversation? This is not a professional manner. So always be remember, you have to write, you will never repeat sentences in your abstract sentences in your introduction, because abstract is another thing and introduction is another thing. Okay, so this is a very very important thing, you must keep this in your mind. Proper acknowledgement of the previous, again, proper acknowledgement of the previous work on which you are building scientific references. Okay, basically scientific references are the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement means that you are admitting this, that I inspire from this article, from this previous article, and I want to write this in my research because I like this the most, and this is a very very valuable thing in my point of view, and vice versa. That's why we have to write the proper referencing, and if without the proper referencing you cannot write an effective research in a proper manner. Okay, the introduction should be focused on the thesis questions. Always be remember, we cannot say this that the irrelevant things you have to write in your research work. No, you have to write those questions which you want to ask in your research. You cannot rely on the irrelevant information and you are writing this irrelevant information in your research work. That is unjustifiable. Okay, so your research must have identifiable questions which you want to ask. This is not a place to summarize everything you have ever read on a subject and then explain the scope of your work, what will and will not be included, a verbal roadmap, a verbal title of contents, guiding the reader to what lies ahead. Yes, it is obvious where introductory material, old stuff ends and your contribution new stuff begins. Okay, so remember that this is not a review paper. We are looking for original work and interpretation analysis by you. Break up the introduction section into logical segments by using subheadings. Okay, you have to give some subheadings. You cannot say this that only one heading you have to write the whole, only one paragraph you will write the whole of your research. No, my suggestion is that you have to give some paragraphs by paragraphs. Give some subheadings. With the help of the subheadings, you will elaborate your introduction more and more in the best convenient manner, in the best professional manner. Okay, otherwise, believe me, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to write an effective introduction in a best professional manner. Okay, so this is the introduction which we already discussed in our today's lecture. So the first thing which we discussed about the title, the second thing we discussed about the second element, which is the table of contents. The third element was what? Yes, abstract. The fourth element was introduction. Okay, so these are the four elements which we discussed. Overall research, we have 8 elements. So half of the research already gone, which we already discussed. So that's why I'm saying you, research is a very easy thing. See, half of the research you already done. If you understand these type of things, half of the research you done. So research, in my point of view, if you understand these elements of research, this is the most easiest thing in the world, in my point of view as a researcher. If you understand these type of things in the best manner or in the perfect manner, you will be successful in this area. You can be a very professional researcher. Okay, so the 4 elements or the half of the research has already discussed in this lecture, because in my point of view research is a very easy thing. And if you understand these elements, these all elements of 8 elements of research in an easy sense, or understand this thoroughly or in the best manner, believe me, this research will be in your fingertips, and you can write the best research in the best manner. Okay, in the best manner. So this is in my point of view, and I hope you will learn this lecture, you understand this lecture. And in the next section, in next week, we will discuss the methods of our research, how to write a method, how to write a research methodology. Method, we already discussed in the past that there are 2 methods. Again, very simple, quantitative or qualitative. But you people are the law major students, so definitely 90% of the law research studies based on the qualitative side. Why is it? Because it is a social sciences subject. But I'm not saying you that you can also do any research which is based on the quantitative side. I'm not discouraging you, but if you are a law student, so majority of the parts of the methodologies belongs with the qualitative side. And then the result, how to write a result versus discussion section. No, some students are confused and they will give the heading with the result and discussion. No, discussion is another thing, result is another thing. Result is your findings, the end result or the end output. In those findings, you will do your analysis, which is your implication. Implication is what you have learned in this. Implication are the discussion sections. Okay, so discussions and then conclusions. Conclusions are the final findings, and then recommendations, and then acknowledgement, and then references. These are the 4 more elements which will be discussed in the next week, in the next lecture, in the continuation of this today's lecture. So I hope you guys learn this subject. I hope you guys understand this subject in the best proficient manner. It's a very easy thing. We already discussed our 4 elements of our research work. Okay, so title, never start title with a quaternary sentence. And then the table of contents, always check the font size of the table of contents, and the font size of the table of contents must be justifiable. And then you have to write abstract in the proficient manner, in the professional manner. And then after abstract, you have to write your introduction. And then after introduction, there will be a methodology, and vice versa. After introduction, we will discuss in the next week. Okay, in the next section. Okay, so this is the research, and we already discussed this. I hope you understand this, you will learn this. and it's a very easy subject, believe me. If you understand all the contents, all the elements of research in a best professional manner, this research will be very easier for you and you can get good grades in this. Okay, so I hope for the best, and if you want to know anything from my side, so please let me know. I will discuss it with you thoroughly and in the best manner. Okay, so be continued in the till the next week, and if you want to know anything, you can email me. I will discuss it with you, and please, another thing is which I am repeating you, that please make your assignments on time, give it to me, because assignment has a very highest weightage of your research, and the whole report in a comprehensive manner you have to email it to me in my email address, which I already given it to you, my dear students. So I hope you will learn this and enjoy this learning of research, which is the best thing in my point of view. This is the best subject of business, and thank you very much. And till the next meeting, we will meet again in the next week. Thank you and goodbye.